Hey y'all, welcome to another 19th episode of the Chris and Kadie Show. I am your co-host, Boston Chris. That is my other co-host, Miss Kadie Lynn. And she's right next to, what did we call him, Herbert the pervert?
Oh, this guy. I was like, what?
Well, she has a new skull behind her now. At least I think it's new. Maybe it's not.
It's not, but it's okay. Yeah, Herbert the pervert. I forgot about that, man.
That was episode 1 too, I think.
I think so too.
Man, what a crazy week it has been since the last we spoke. It feels like it's been multiple months because Tuesday I did an interview, and then Wednesday we drove to Louisiana, which was 400 miles. And the plan was we were going to pick up the truck, the moving truck, on Thursday and then drive back Thursday evening.
Mhm.
And so our plan got sped up because we got tired of just waiting around. So we ended up driving there Wednesday morning and driving home Wednesday night.
Hey.
Yeah, so we did
Uh-uh.
almost 900 miles, or I guess it was closer to 800 miles, in one day. And then ever since then, it's just been unpacking and getting people settled and finding out
Yeah.
that we need things, and then trying to find a way to go get the things we need. It's just been a crazy week, and it's been really, really long. But they're here, and everybody's happy. And here we are back again on Monday. So how has your week been?
It's been all over the place.
Yeah, I feel you.
There's been a lot going on.
So I'm excited about Katie's Corner this week, Katie's Bitch Fit, because I see some of your notes on that. So I'm gonna be adding my 2 cents at the end of that. But guys, we have a really cool show um, planned for y'all. Number one, I got to thank HyperX for sponsoring the episode, and remind everybody, if you use our HyperX link, we will get a commission. If you already need microphones or keyboards or mouses or anything that HyperX has, go ahead and use HyperX and use our link, and we'll get a commission. If you're interested in sponsoring an episode, you can just email us as well. The email is right above our head right there. The Chris and Kadie Show at gmail.com if you're listening somewhere. But yeah, we will definitely take sponsors if you're interested in that. But yeah, we have a fantastic show planned. And let me see what order we're doing things in.
The order you put it in.
I know. All right, so we always start with our top 5. Where did you go? There you are. We always start with our top 5. And last 2 weeks we were doing top 5 people, top 5 female artists, and then top 5 male artists as well. And this week we are back to food. And this should be interesting because I feel like we talk about like top 5 pizza. Why is my phone
Uh-huh.
all of a sudden like making noise?
I
What
don't know,
is
but
that?
it's wanting to be the star of the show.
Right? Sorry about that, y'all. But anyway, we've done the top 5 pizza, I think. We've done top 5 barbecue. And now we are going to do top 5 fast food French fries. So
French fries.
we're not talking about like the restaurant itself here. We are talking about specifically their French fried potatoes, and how they rank. And so this can be any fast food restaurant, like Red Lobster, for example. Not a fast food restaurant, Katie.
Too
Not,
bougie.
not. They are far too bougie to be making it
Yep.
on this
Yep.
list. The only one who
Yep.
should be blowing you up is me. Well, cool me, get in my inbox then, my dude. What the hell are you waiting for?
Ooh.
Actually, I'm pretty excited because a friend of mine who was living in Knoxville, Tennessee, used to be from East Texas, and he moved there, and he's one of my favorite artists, and he just moved back to Texas, and I found out about it through him trying to book a show right down the road from me. So I was like, wait a minute, when were you going to tell me, you jerk? But anyway, so that's him messaging me. But yeah, so we're doing top
Yay.
5 French fries, and we're going to start with Katie at number 5. Who has your 5th best French fries?
Whataburger.
Really?
Yeah. So I do love Whataburger just because, man, I would eat them for breakfast. I would go to Whataburger for breakfast and get French fries and gravy for breakfast, like a crackhead. You know how I am with my gravy. Maybe that's what it is too.
Because they have gravy,
You probably,
and some of
but
these other
they're
places don't.
great. But here's the thing: they're usually either limp or dry.
Golly, she look. We are literally 4 minutes in, not even, and she's already trying to cancel us, y'all.
Yo,
So if they're limp or dry, how the hell do they make the list, Katie?
those were consistent.
Cool me. So Whataburger, and I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, is one of the most overrated restaurants on the planet, in my opinion.
I can agree on that.
Yeah, I don't, and they
But
they they will not be making my list of anything ever.
but man, their French fries are pretty good. They got a good taste to them. They do just the right amount of salt. But like I said, some of them are either limp or like dry.
They're too little
But
for me. Like they're just too shoestringy.
see, and I'm the okay. Then our lists are going to be very different.
Probably so. Yeah, probably so. My number five, and the only reason why they didn't make it higher is because they just switched their recipe. Is Sonic. So Sonic used to have really, really good fries to where I would have put them probably two or three, but they switched to crinkle cut recently, and they're still
Yeah,
good. But I'm not a huge crinkle cut French fry kind of guy, so because of that, I have them at number five.
got it.
So Sonic, if you ever switch back, you will do better on my list.
I
So
used to see, and I love those kind of fries too. Like Sonic, their fries used to be badass. But here's the thing: we're talking about seasoning, not just fries. That's what makes fries different. Is
they can.
seasoning. Jackson, like, he hates Raisin Canes. He's like, they don't season anything.
She didn't say limp and small, cool me. She said limp and dry. And
Right.
so,
Yeah.
yeah, you do not line up with 100% of that.
Hey.
Okay, because
Hey.
we all know you're not dry. You cannot be dry while watching me. We know
Hey.
this already.
Hey. Hot poo. I thought
No,
you liked that.
no. Mm-mm. So who's number four
I
on
hate
your
that
list
too.
for French fries?
Wendy's.
Okay, okay.
Wendy's has good fries. And Ozzy. Okay, so Jackson's not home tonight. You can't see his face, but it's ear. Okay. Anyway, Wendy's. Yeah, I like Wendy's fries. I like a good like how would I say that? Not like a homemade fry kind of thing, but like
Are you
kind
talking
of.
about the skin on? Is that what you're talking about? Like the skin still being on the fries? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can't see you though.
Yeah, your thing just froze, and now I mean you're back for me now. I don't know why you can't see me though.
Yeah. I don't know.
I can still see you fine, but yeah,
Yeah,
Wendy's
your
is on
camera
my
went off.
list, but yeah, it's got to be on your end. I don't know.
Probably.
Let's see here. My number four, I have Wingstop at number four. And I think the reason why I like Wingstop so much, and I'm saying this without Toby in the room, because Toby loves Wingstop. He loves everything about Wingstop. You say Wingstop around Toby, and he starts going ballistic.
Seeing I'm a Buffalo Wild Wings gal, but continue on.
Yeah, I love their fries though, and I get them quite a lot. But yeah, I like Wingstop again. I think you're talking about limp fries. Like Wingstop's fries are always limp, but for
Yeah.
some reason I like them. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
So what's number
It's like
three for you?
so this is where we're gonna start getting off. But I feel like it's like what you're gravitating towards is more like a not like a homemade kind of feel, but kind of more than like just like dipped in grease little French fries. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Who are we
Like they
talking
have
about?
like a more French fries, like Wendy's and like which one did you just say? Like Wingstop, like the thicker fries, like that's kind of like a homemade more kind of feel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like something your mom would make instead.
Right, like steak fries
Kind
almost.
of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. A little more meat
Yeah.
on them.
Okay.
So what's
Anyway,
number 3 for you?
you're probably gonna hate it. Steak and Shake.
Can't say I've ever
Fuck
had steak
it.
and shake, so I don't know.
Oh my god, they're like McDonald's, but like half the size, thinner.
So they're more shoestringy then, like Whataburger.
Yeah, they're like McDonald's, but they're more crispy.
Okay.
But they're so good, man. You get that, and then they have like M&M milkshakes and shit like
Hmm.
that. Ooh.
See, you live in the city, so you have more options than me, and I feel like that's not
That's actually
fair.
30 minutes away from me, but
Yeah, but still,
it
like
is.
within 30 minutes of me, like there's not that many restaurants within
I
30
know.
minutes of me. You know.
I was down at the lake yesterday, and we're probably gonna move back out there, next year. And I'm like, damn, they ain't got shit out here,
Are you talking
man.
Cedar Creek out that way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm
Wow.
like, man, they ain't got a Popeyes, they ain't got a Panera, they ain't got a Buffalo Wild Wings, they ain't,
Nothing.
I don't know where the nearest Wendy's is. There's no
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A. There's nothing.
And speaking of Chick-fil-A, I've got Chick-fil-A at number 3 with their waffle fries. I absolutely love their waffle fries.
Mhm.
Um, and I love just it's the difference, right? Like if you want something different, I feel like Chick-fil-A is your different, right? If you don't want burgers, you go to Chick-fil-A. If you don't like regular fries, you go to Chick-fil-A. And I feel like
Yeah.
Arby's is trying to do the same shit with like their curly fries, except Arby's
Yeah.
is just absolute ass in my opinion.
I've only had Arby's like once, and I
My
wasn't
mom
like,
loves it there, and nobody in my family likes it but her. Like it's just I dislike it so much. All right, so what is your number
so
2?
Chick-fil-A.
Okay, so we're
Love
we're
Chick-fil-A.
very similar actually.
Kinda, kinda.
So what?
Actually, yeah, because I see yours now. Now I'm looking. But yeah, I love Chick-fil-A French fries. It's like because I love potatoes, so like that's a different thing. That's not a floppy fat fry. I like fat
Floppy.
floppy fry. I like fat floppy fry instead of floppy fat fry.
Yeah, the placement of the word, I guess, is all the difference. I don't know where you're at tonight, Katie, but we've got a long way to go, and I'm a little bit worried about you. I'm going to keep it fair.
I don't know, man. I'm kind of worried too because we're not even my bitch fit yet.
I haven't even made it to the bitch fit. All
Hey!
right, number 2 for me. I'm going to get some hate for this. I got McDonald's at number 2. Um, and obviously McDonald's I feel like is like the standard bearer of French fries. Like everybody says they're the
Yeah.
best, and I agree to an extent. But there is one restaurant that I like more at number 1. But what is your? Did you already say your number 2? You did.
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A. So what is your number 1?
Mickey D's. Obviously. But yeah, man, I feel like that's the kind of thing like when you're like I want a snack and like you're out driving about and shit. Like you're like, man, I want some McDonald's French fries.
Yeah,
Go and like that's just
it's
like
comfort food, right?
that. It's okay. Look, when I'm like driving around, I'm like, I want a snack, not a whole meal. I either get McDonald's French fries or I get a pretzel twist from Sonic. That's
Hell
my two
yeah.
things.
We are talking the same way. I
Those
love the
bitches
pretzels. Yes.
smack.
We call that our crack around here. Sonic crack. Yeah, those pretzels twists are ridiculously good, dude. Oh my god. Anyway, yeah, so you guys can probably figure out my number 1 is Wendy's. I like Wendy's because they I think the major reason why I like Wendy's is because I like everything else at Wendy's too. And so
Yeah,
like I feel
I
like
love them.
yeah, I feel like they have good chicken sandwiches, they have good burgers, they have good fries, like everything there. The nuggets are fantastic. Like everything at Wendy's is so dope. So like anytime and Wendy's is so much further away from me than McDonald's, so it's more of a treat when we go because they're
Yeah,
like 30 minutes away instead of just 8 minutes away. So I
right.
feel like Wendy's has flip flopped with McDonald's because of those reasons. But Yeah, what are your top five favorite French fries out there, guys? If you are watching live on Twitch, let me know
Fat
in the
floppy
chat.
fries.
Fat, floppy, limp, dry French
Fries.
fries. That's right. So comment down below if you're on YouTube or wherever you are watching what your top five is. Did we get it right or did we get it wrong? And we always say that Kadie is wrong and Boston is right. Don't forget that, guys.
Yeah, I can
And
get behind that.
and so because of that, I get to take a break because I'm always right and Kadie's always wrong. So now I get to take a break while Kadie does her bitch fit.
I welcome. That's Katie's corner. Katie's the bitch fit. Okay. Dad jokes. We're on it. Okay. I have extra attitude today because I got gum in my mouth. I feel like it gives me some extra attitude. Um, I'm like, Anyway, a weasel walks into a bar. The bartender says, "Wow, I've never served a weasel before. What can I get you?" Pop, goes the weasel. Hey, my wife said she's divorcing me, saying that I was too un-American. Saw it coming from a kilometer away. Okay. Told my wife that melted Mexican cheese is my favorite dish ever. She's like, "Okay, so?" Okay, that one was really bad. We're out on that note. So to catch up, I made a few notes. So what I have done notable between last episode and this episode, I finally got wedding shoes. Woo! Apply. Man, I wish I could. How do I make the emote thing on here that it goes randomly? I wish I knew how to actually do that because it did fireworks one time. Okay, anyway, back to the program. Got wedding shoes. Super freaking cute. Not going to disclose any information, but notable. I met with the wedding venue, which is great. We went over like timeline of everything, who's doing what. Getting ready for like the rehearsal dinner too. This Thursday, the 12th. So 3 days. Is a month till the wedding. So but anyway, we went over like itinerary, all that kind of stuff, like how many people are gonna be there, kind of setup, stuff like that. So that was good. Then we went shopping and then got sushi. Good stuff with my mama. And then, okay, so this goes along with wedding. That's why I added it in right here. Oh my god. I'm gonna kill my whole family. So my sisters, two sisters. So here's my bridesmaids. I have two friends, only two friends, basically. I have my two friends. Then I have my niece. Then I have my sister-in-law. Well, I actually have two nieces, but only one is an adult. So niece, sister-in-law, and then two sisters. Okay. All these bitches be bitches. Okay. But there's three in particular. Okay. And that's my two sisters and my niece, the adult niece. Okay. Adult niece is my maid of honor. Love her. She's biggest bitch. But she is byproduct of one of my sisters, obviously, Amber. And Amber, I already done told her, so if she sees this, we're on the same page. Um so we were all apparently this was back in July. I don't recall this. I probably didn't know what was going on. I was like, I don't care what you do. I guarantee you that's the way it came out of my mouth. Ozzy decided he wanted to join the bitch fit. Anyway, so apparently in July, probably like a 4th of July party, some kind of party with the family, everyone was drinking. So something probably got misconstrued. But apparently my sister was talking about walking and being so walking down the aisle and being at the wedding at the altar barefoot, no shoes. I said, so listen, this is how I find out. Okay. because I do not recall said conversation. Don't know if it's my fault, their fault, but more than likely it was a thing where it was like, I do not give a shit. Like I was just like blowing some shit off because that's how I am, just blowing it off. Because everyone was drinking, guaranteed. That's how family functions go in my family. Anyway, so my niece, that's my maid of honor, she calls me and we're just talking and she said, yeah, so my mom ordered her foot jewelry last night for the wedding. I said, the foot jewelry? What? Do what? What is that? And then she proceeds to tell me that, yeah, her and Monica and Connie, okay, sister and sister-in-law, are all going to be barefoot. And that my sister told my niece to return her shoes that she bought for the wedding because they're all going to be barefoot. I said, excuse the out of me. Excuse me. I said, y'all can be podunk redneck all y'all damn want, but this is some bullshit. I said, this ain't no beach wedding. We ain't wearing no cowboy hats and jeans. Hell no. I said, if you don't want to wear shoes, you can walk the other damn direction in your foot jewelry. That's some bullshit. Anyway, so they're all wearing black heels or flats. And then this Saturday, that was really Katie's bitch fit. Swear up and down on the line. Okay. I'm actually going to a wedding this weekend, the 15th. Another Katie. And I'm doing her makeup for her wedding. That's going to be fun. My other friend Faith is getting married on the 21st, but as we learned last week, apparently I have a show on the 21st. So I won't be able to go to that. I also signed myself up to the sweetest student ever, and I love her so much, but man, I'm not excited. So tomorrow morning, I have to be at church at 9:30 in the morning and go over songs for Maylee to do on Sunday at church, which I am also supposed to attend at 8:30 in the morning. I'm supposed to work with her for an hour tomorrow. So yeah, not loving the environment, but I'm glad I get to be there for her. I'm not, and I'm gonna be there by myself, just, and I'm gonna have to sit there for like 3 hours probably for the whole damn service. I don't know. Anyway, I'm also working at the factory, that night. That night, so I have to do that morning. Then I work a concert that night, which is Wild Rivers and Jade Bird. Have no idea who the fuck they are, but I went and looked it up to see who I was working and stuff, and see who was on the like schedule or whatever the hell. And I saw that on 9/19, Till Lindemann from Rammstein is coming. I would love to see that. That would be so badass. So badass. They actually got a bunch of badass shows coming up. Jackson's getting to work. He gets to work Slipknot, and he gets to work Creed. But yeah, he gets to work those concerts in a couple weeks too. So, or maybe he works Slipknot tomorrow. One's this week and one's next week, I think. Anyway, but yeah, I'm gonna say that's it for my bitch fit today. For Katie's Corner.
I did not know about Creed and Slipknot at the factory. I didn't see that on their list.
Not at the factory.
Oh, okay.
Man, he works for his EMT job. He works at like the factory, Dos Equis, Southside.
Ah, Dos Equis. That makes sense. Okay.
It could be Dos Equis, yeah.
Yeah, it probably is. So the ones that I saw coming up at the factory that I'm somewhat interested in are
so this is a thing now that I can get.
maybe, perhaps, but no, I'm not going to ask for tickets for either one of these actually. But
Okay.
if I was going to ask for tickets, the two that are coming up that I'm most interested in are the Dropkick Murphys,
Okay.
and the other one was Paul Cawthon.
Mhm.
But I won't be asking for tickets to those because I think the wife and I are planning to try to go see Blacktop Mojo at Union 28 next week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let me know if y'all go. I'll come.
Yeah, I will. Yeah. So
Rick's probably working it. My bass player.
we have only ever seen Blacktop Mojo 3 different places.
Mm-hmm.
We saw them in my living room. We saw them in the studio when they came to do my pod for the first time. And then the third time we saw them was fully acoustic at the Shelton Gin in Palestine.
Mm-hmm.
So we have never seen them full band. So, which is crazy because we've interviewed them twice. We've had them on the show twice. And so, and all the times we've had the opportunity to go see them, it's always been acoustic. So, hopefully we can make this happen. We'll see what happens because it's going to be in the middle of the month. So we need some money to come in order for it to happen. But if the money comes in that we think is coming in, then we are probably going. And I will let you know because I know you will want to go as well. For sure, because this is Blacktop Mojo. This is Blacktop Mojo. But anyway, I digress. Let's move on. That was Katie's bitch fit. Cool stuff. Yeah, but I did not know that Till Lindemann was Rammstein either, so that's pretty damn cool. All right, so we are back. We're going to play a game. Let me get this on the screen here so that way Katie can see that I'm not cheating. Go live. This, and then we'll go here. All right. Oops. So the game we are playing this week is Ah Yes. And so the way Ah Yes works is I will give a noun or a topic, and I must give a fake background of that noun or topic, as you can see right there on your screen. And so we're going to go ahead and pick a topic right now with the same wheel. Here it is. And our topic is sailboats. Have we done sailboats yet?
I feel like we might have.
I think we did for the Gilligan's Island.
I think we did.
Yeah, I think we did as well. I'm also going to remove sandwiches because I know we did that one already. Okay, so we are getting repeats like crazy because Kyle did that, and we did K-pop and the moon as well. And we did dinosaurs and bunnies and spoons.
Spoon.
All right, so there we go.
Okay, anytime I say spoons, I say poon. Period. I almost said poon.
All right, so we got Rick and Morty, which we have had before, but
you don't know anything about it. Hey, so that's perfect.
This is perfect for me. Yes, that's right. This is perfect. All right. Ah, yes. Let me change this.
It only took me 10 minutes to get where your brain got in 10 seconds.
Yep. Ah, yes. Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty. They are the Green Party candidates for president and vice president in the 2024 election. Why would you vote for Trump and Vance or Harris and Walz when you can put forth your vote for Rick and Morty? Now, everybody knows that Rick for president, Rick wants to do all kinds of roles to you. Like, never gonna give you up, you know, the whole Rick roll. That's why we need to vote for him. Because every single day in office, we will get Rick rolled. We will see toilet paper all over the White House. It'll be like Halloween every single day. These are campaign promises from Rick. And let me just tell you, having Morty one heartbeat away from the presidency and the Oval Office is not scary whatsoever. Because Morty stands for what is right on this planet. And from what I gather, I have talked to his people, and he will be the best vice president, not only for the planet Earth, but also for the planet Lumos.
Oh.
So this is a multi-planetarium ticket that we're talking about here.
So where is that planet at? Like what galaxy is it?
Lumos is if you go all the way to Gravitron and bang a left, and then go down the road until you see Tarathia. That's Lumos right there to the left of Tarathia.
Okay.
So all of that planet Lumos plans on voting for Morty, and because of that's why Rick chose Morty to be his running mate. Because
So he can go for both.
yeah, and like Rick and
Uh-huh.
Jillian just doesn't sound as good as Rick and Morty. You know what I'm saying? Or like Rick and
Right.
Joe, or Rick
Freaking
or yeah,
Joe.
like none of that makes sense. Rick and Morty is it just flows off the tongue better. Plus, you get all of that Lumosian vote coming in,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, I mean they really have to combat the Tarathian vote because that's all going to the couch lover.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So fear not, vote for Rick and Morty, and if Rick, God forbid, if something were to happen to Rick, Morty would be the perfect choice for the Oval Office. Let's be honest. Rick and Morty, 24. All right, so that was
I
yes.
I wish you knew more about the show because you would just die. Like
Well, maybe it
you
was
would
funny
just die.
because I don't know anything about the show. At least I
It
hope it was.
is.
All right, good. Gucci. All right, so our we actually have a couple of well, not a couple. We have one extra story this week. So these stories are probably going to go a little bit quicker than we normally would. Our main event topic, there's a lot to unpack there this week, I think, and so Katie and I will probably discuss that a lot further in detail. But out of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which ones would you like to cover, Katie?
Oh, well, hold on. I'm cleaning my glasses. I can't see shit.
She's blind as a frickin' bat, is what she's
I'm
saying.
really not, but my eyes are
I haven't
so
either, Cool Me. I've
far
never
off.
seen it. I've never seen it, and we'll get some hate because of that, but it is what it is.
No, I mean if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. I mean it's like a niche kind of thing.
There's a lot of death in our show this week, but that's okay.
Die.
Anyway, I'm going to start with Rich Homie Quan, who has passed away at the age of 34. Rich Homie Quan is a rapper from Atlanta, and there's a lot of background in this story. But let's go ahead and read the article. This is from MSN.com. Rich Homie Quan, who was born to Qantas Lamar, reportedly died Thursday, September 5th, at the age of 34. The cause of the Atlanta rapper's death remains unknown. Now, TMZ first confirmed the news, citing family in the Fulton County morgue, and Rolling Stone confirmed with a family member as well. Billboard has reached out to Quan's manager in the Fulton County morgue for confirmation. Before the news reports, though, an abundance of artists paid tribute to Quan on social media, with Boozy Badass and Jocks and more sending their condolences to the type of way rapper. Boozy was one of the first to deliver the news on X when he said, "Just got word that Rich Homie Quan just died. I just talked to Quan the other day," he wrote. "Just talked to you, brah. Never gonna forget your smile and the way you talked, and of course your music." So there has been a lot of drama between Rich Homie Quan and Young Thug in the past. Where apparently Young Thug is like on trial right now for doing some weird things that had to do with Rich Homie Quan.
Mm.
I'm trying to find it. It doesn't seem to be here, but I believe they basically came up together out of Atlanta, and they've kind of been like rivals. Let me see if I can find that information about the trial. Because I found that to be really interesting, and that's kind of why this made the list this week, because I saw that there was some beef, or some possible beef,
Ooh,
perhaps.
beefs.
Let me see here. Maybe I misread it. I don't know. But yeah, let me see here. I know that the Atlanta rap game is crazy too. Like it's really quite tough to come up in that. Young Thug trial.
Man,
I guess
fucking
it's a
Migos are
racketeering. It's a RICO trial, which is interesting as well because, let's see here. But yeah, Rich Homie Quan has come up in the trial quite often, and there has been some innuendo online that perhaps the trial and the death of Rich Homie Quan are somewhat related.
related.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I find it weird how, again, they did not have like a cause of death. Like, again, if this was violently, or if it was related to violence in some way, you would think that that would be known. Like he was stabbed or he was
Yeah.
shot or whatever. But like, the cause of the Atlanta rapper's death remains unknown. And even now, this is a few days later, and there's still nothing
Hmm.
about how he died. Um, but yeah, another rapper gone probably too soon, man. The rap game is tough,
Hmm.
especially apparently in Atlanta, because this is not
Yeah.
the first one. Katie, do you want to take number two? This was just confirmed today.
I sure can. Okay. This one's sad. I mean, the last one was sad too.
Yeah.
But this one's gonna hurt everybody's heart because everyone's gonna know who this person is. And that would be James Earl Jones, authoritative actor and voice of Darth Vader, dies at 93. That's a good life.
It's a
the
very good
honorary
life.
the honorary Oscar recipient and two-time Tony winner overcame a stutter to stand out in such films as The Great White Hope, The Lion King, Field of Dreams, and The Sandlot. James Earl Jones, a commanding presence on screen who nonetheless gained greater fame off camera as the
Sonorous.
sonorous voice of Star Wars villain Darth Vader and Mufasa, the benevolent leader and the Lion King. Yep, died Monday. He was 93. Jones, who burst into international. Yeah, I'm combining words. I gotta quit doing that. I think I might be dyslexic or something. I don't know. I never liked reading.
You do it so well, though.
Boy, don't you lie to me. Don't lie to me. The fuck? Anyway, okay. Jones, who burst into national prominence in 1970 with his powerful Oscar nominated performance as America's first black heavyweight champion, The Great White Hope, died at his home in Dutchess County, New York, Independent Artist Group announced. The distinguished star made his big screen debut in Stanley Kubrick's Doctor Strangelove or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb, 1964, and was noteworthy in many other films, including Claudine, 1974, opposite Diane Carroll, Field of Dreams, 1983, 83, my ass, 89, and as the reclusive author Terrence Mann, and The Sandlot, 1993, as the intimidating neighborhood guy, Mr. Myrtle. Um,
I think James Earl Jones may go down in history as one of the most famous voices ever, right? Like him
yeah.
and Morgan Freeman. I mean,
What's
um,
his face? Audenborough or the hell?
yeah. hmm I'm not
The
sure who you're talking about.
the freaking dude that's on every damn documentary with
Oh,
animals.
Attenborough, David Attenborough.
Attenborough.
Yeah.
Attenborough. That's what I
Yep.
said. Yeah.
I gotcha. Yeah, but just an iconic voice for sure. And long life, 93 years old. Um, so not really sad in that aspect. He did live a really long life. He was born in
Hmm.
1931 in Mississippi, raised by his
Yeah.
maternal grandparents. Um, moved to a farm in Michigan at the age of 5. Just a remarkable, remarkable life. In 1958, he made his Broadway debut. In
This is a really long
1958.
article. Everyone should go check it out. It's on the Hollywood Reporter.
Hollywood Reporter, yeah, please do. It's a really,
Really, really long about all of
and
his
it shows
everything.
shows really cool pictures too with him as a young guy, and yeah, it tells the story of how George Lucas was searching for a bass voice for Darth Vader, and how he ended up casting James Earl Jones, because if you're a Star Wars fan, you've probably already heard this lore, but George Lucas wanted to use Orson Welles as Darth Vader. But Orson Welles turned it down because he felt like his voice would be too recognizable and everybody would know that it was Orson Welles. That was the voice. And they didn't want anybody that would be known. And at the time, James Earl Jones, his voice wasn't like this huge, iconic thing. So this was 1977. And so that's how he got casted for the Darth Vader voice. He was
That's awesome.
he was paid a flat fee of $7,000 to voice Darth Vader. Yes, he made a little bit more money later, but that covered like the first three, I think 2 or 3 films. Yeah, crazy, right? Crazy stuff. Yeah, things are a little bit different nowadays when it comes to
Nah,
paying.
shit.
Yeah,
The
so true.
hell?
So, moving on to the third topic this week. It's again, we ended up with 6 topics, and literally like 24 hours ago, I think we had 2 or 3 on the list here and I was starting to freak out that we wouldn't have enough content for this week. And then we got hit with a bunch of stuff today. But one of the things I wanted to talk about this week, which I always find interesting, and I'm sure Katie is aware of it too, is
Mm-hmm.
what we in the music business call the 27 Club. Now, if you're not familiar with what the 27 Club is, the 27 Club is a list of musicians or other notable artists, painters, actors, things like that, that have passed away at the age of 27. Not 26, not 28, but 27. And
Mm-hmm.
this list is very, very, it's quite long, but some of the most
Very long.
notable names are like Amy Winehouse, Janis Joplin, um,
Jim Morrison.
Jim Morrison, of course. Yeah, Jim Morrison's a big one on that list. Kurt Cobain
Yeah.
was on that list. And a lot of these deaths are obviously are
And
you
it's
know
still getting added to.
drugs and alcohol. Jimi Hendrix was one that passed at
Yeah.
27. Brian Jones from the Rolling Stones. Um, there's just a lot of them, man. And there's more that haven't that I haven't heard of, like Basquiat, who was I'm not sure who that was,
You
but
said Jimi Hendrix already,
I
right?
did, yeah, Jimi Hendrix. Um, but yeah, 27's a tough age. I feel like I think Jim Belushi passed away at 27 as well. Maybe I'm
There's
misremembering.
more than the people that are on this list.
Yeah, but it sucks because like a lot of them are from drugs and alcohol. Actually, most of them probably. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't just die at 27, right? Like that's not something that happens um, naturally. So, but yeah, Jim Morrison, Kurt Cobain, Janis Joplin, Brian Jones, Jimi Hendrix, one of blues' biggest artists, Robert Johnson, from years and years
Hmm.
ago. Um, but I think they really started paying attention to this because the trifecta of Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, and Jim Morrison all being up and coming pretty much at the same time.
Hmm.
But yeah, going through the list, there's a lot of them, like a lot of them. Of course, Kurt Cobain a lot of years later, Amy Winehouse later, much later on as well.
Yeah.
Um, Anton Yelchin is on the list. Not a list you want to make for sure, unfortunately. But yeah, you guys should look it up. The 27 Club is what it's called. Harry Haynes is on the list. He was an actor. Just a whole American. Was he on American Horror Story? I think. Yeah,
Who?
27 Club. Harry Haynes, Hains.
I
Your
think so.
beard is
Yeah.
looking damn good. The wife put some love into the beard today, so that's why it looks so good. But it has not. I have not been having good beard days because we've been working in the yard a lot this week, and that's not ending anytime soon. So I will take the next one, and then you take number 5.
I was about to ask, do you want
Okay.
to take the next one? No, you do.
So, as you guys may have known or from prior episodes, where we have discussed DrDisrespect, and not once but twice on this show, it was inevitable that the giant piece of trash was going to make an attempt at coming back, and that has now occurred. So, he has made his return to streaming, and of course, he's just trying to act like nothing ever happened. But I wanted to talk about this Forbes article that came out. And Forbes has been on top of this shit, okay? So Forbes has like 2 or 3 different articles that have come out since DrDisrespect came back. But I definitely wanted to talk about this one in specific because it talks about other streamers that are slamming DrDisrespect, including some of his closest former friends, who are also giant douche nozzles, in my opinion. Some of them. Not all of them, but some of them. But anyway, let's talk about this. It says top streamers slam DrDisrespect after his return to streaming. You can find this at Forbes.com. Guy DrDisrespect Beam, after previously admitting to inappropriately contacting a minor, has now returned to streaming after several weeks on quote-unquote vacation, offering a 20-minute explanation about the incident, and then returning to YouTube gaming as normal. While a number of his fans have welcomed him back with open arms, the same is not true for top streamers in the industry who previously condemned his behavior. None have changed their tune, even his former friends, many of whom can't believe he came back at all. Language warnings are coming in, by the way. There will be some language.
Oh, yeah. They should have got that when we started the show with me.
Right? Anyway, the most notable statement is from Nick Merckx, the openly transphobic and controversial streamer, who was Doc's former friend and gaming buddy, who is not having his return at all, saying this blank DrDisrespect is married with children, pushing 40, admits to texting, this is a direct quote from Nick Merckx, by the way, admits to texting a minor inappropriately, his words, not mine, so I cut ties because obviously that's inexcusable. Now I'm a shitty friend for not having his back, ? Bunch of brain rot morons on this app. And that's the end of the quote.
I love the word brain rot.
So a lot of people were apparently trying to demonize him in his stream for not having DrDisrespect's back after DrDisrespect openly admitted to inappropriately texting a minor, even after knowing that that minor was a minor. And somehow Nick Merckx is the one that's getting hate for not having his back. But anyway, Nick Merckx deserves a lot of hate for a lot of other different shit that we've talked about on this channel. Cutting ties with DrDisrespect is not one of them. That is a smart decision to make. But anyway, I move on. Another streaming doctor by the name of Dr. Lupo offered one of the most forceful torchings of Doc's return. And I quote, "There is no way you do not have fucking brain damage from this. There's absolutely no way. If anywhere along the path you go, oh, that's fine, you got something fucked up in your head." He messaged a 17-year-old, again, I'm interposing here, in the middle of the quote, we don't know for sure that it was a 17-year-old. Okay, we don't know that. This is conjecture on his part. Back to the quote. He messaged a 17-year-old when he was in his late 30s with a child and married to solicit them for sex. And every single time he talks about it, it's going to be sugar-coated. It's going to be dumbed down, because at what point are you going to say, yeah, I wanted to fuck a teenager? Do you think he's going to say that? Unquote. There were similar statements from other top streamers. Now, the reason why I interposed in there about the 17-year-old is because Dr. Lupo may know more than we do. Mm-hmm. Okay? Dr. Lupo did have a relationship with DrDisrespect. They were friends. They were acquaintances. I don't know how close, but he is going to know things that we won't, just because he's a big person in the industry of live streaming and content creation. However, he's not essentially saying, hey, this is what I know in there. So I just want people to understand that it is 100% speculation that it was a 17-year-old. We don't know that for sure. Nobody has come out and said the victim's age, okay? I just feel like that's a disclaimer that has to be put here.
Yeah.
There were similar, back to the article, there were similar statements from other top streamers like XQC, who linked to Rod Breslau's Rolling Stone report about the facts of the case, saying, quote, reminder for those whose brains have turned off entirely, unquote. Breslau says he, quote, fully stands by his reporting, unquote, which includes the fact that Disrespect sent explicit messages to someone he knew was a minor. Doc offered a winding explanation for his actions. I'm just going to remind everybody out there why this is a thing. Doc offered a winding explanation for his actions, saying that actually the person was above the age of content. That's supposed to say consent, but discussing the legal definitions of sexting and minor, which led to no criminal charges being filed. He previously edited the word minor in and out of his now deleted confession tweet, now saying the word was meant to, quote-unquote, bait journalists. And now he says he's getting ready to take legal action against those involved in or who reported on this situation. His overall explanation, without any evidence, like communications with Twitch or the release of the messages he sent, has somehow satisfied many of his fans, but not most outside observers, including effectively all the other streamers in his industry, myself included, by the way.
I think it's really fucking funny that you're gonna bait a journalist by being a pedo. What?
So he's deleted he's deleted everything off of his social media that has anything to do with this. And now he's threatening legal action against people that are reporting essentially the words that he himself said. Right now, he's still currently demonetized on YouTube, and he's going to be able to reapply for that in a few weeks. It'll be interesting to see if he's able to get remonetized on YouTube or not, because I feel like YouTube may want to steer clear of this one. Just a thought. I don't know. But I feel like perhaps DrDisrespect is just essentially trying to do what we thought he would try to do a couple months ago. We thought he would just disappear and hopefully it'll bowl over. And honestly, it's up to everybody else. People like Dr. Lupo and Tim the Tatman and even Nick Merckx and other folks in the industry. It's going to be up to them to keep this in the forefront of the news. Because it can't go away. We can't allow this shit to go away and just act like everything's back to normal. This man literally tried to prey on a person that should not have legal consent. They do not have legal consent. That's why they are a minor. And just so we're clear, if indeed it is a 17-year-old, and even if in the state that 17-year-old lives in, if the age of consent is 17 in that person's state, it is still against the law to interact in a sexual manner with anybody under the age of 18 in the United States on the internet, period. You cannot do it on the internet. The thing that separates the state law from the federal law is the internet. If you target somebody on the internet under the age of 18, that person cannot give consent within the sphere of the internet. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you were talking to that person in person at the mall or something like that, in that person's state, and the state's consent age was 17, then you're good to go. But at the same time, let's still look at the fact that she's 17. Perhaps, again, this is conjecture, perhaps she's 17 and he is in his upper 30s when this goes down. He's married. He has his own children. So even if this is not illegal, which it is because it occurred on the internet, but even if it wasn't, there's still a whole lot of moral reasons not to follow this piece of shit, in my opinion.
And the biggest reason with that law is like, here, Texas, the legal age of consent is 17. But I think like in New Mexico, it's like 16 or some shit.
Yeah, it's
so,
different. Like, it's different all over the country, yeah.
Exactly. So, I mean, I can be in this state, you know, and I can be 40 years old and it be 17 here, but I'm talking to a chick in New Mexico that's six, like, you know.
Yep. And so if that's the case, if you're talking to somebody on the phone that's 16 in New Mexico and the age of consent is 16 in New Mexico, then you're good. But the second you bring that child over to Texas, you're not good.
Yeah.
Right? So, but if it happens on the internet, regardless, it's not good either way. Like it is against the law. You are breaking the law. Period. And I don't know if it's a felony or not. Perhaps somebody out there can let me know. But I do know that it is against the law to chat with a minor in a sexual manner on the internet. So I shouldn't talk to Toby because he has the mental age of 6. No. So Fubar, the determination here is you can't talk to Toby sexually because he has a mental age of 6. You can talk to him all you want. Okay? All right? And just to be clear, Toby's mental age just had a birthday. He's now 7.
I love that shit.
I thought he was in here. I guess he's not. So my studio is now Toby's bedroom. So my office is on this side and his bedroom is on that side.
Well, damn.
It's pretty dang cool. So
y'all are both imposing on each other.
Our second to last story, I'm going to let Katie grab this one. This is about Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah. So, if y'all know anything by the time this episode comes out, everyone's going to already know when we say Kendrick Lamar is headlining the 2025 Super Bowl halftime show. Woo, 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 woo. So, Kendrick Lamar didn't even let the NFL's opening Sunday games get underway before he announced his plans to perform at the Super Bowl halftime show in February. In a video posted to YouTube on Sunday morning, Lamar puts footballs through a passing machine while making motivational remarks to off-screen players. He introduced himself and announced that he will perform at next year's Super Bowl. Lamar made the announcement with Rock Nation, Apple Music, and the NFL. What number is that?
I'm not sure what number we're on. Let me go see. I think that is 49.
What? Sure. Okay, Super Bowl 49, whatever LIX is. Okay, which airs on Fox on February 9th, will take place at the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans. Will you be pulling up? Lamar asked. I hope so. Wear your best dress too, even if you're watching from home. Let's go. Anyway, in a news release, Rock Nation founder Jay-Z called Lamar truly a once-in-a-generation artist and performer. His deep love for hip-hop and culture informs his artistic vision. He said he has an unparalleled ability to define and influence culture globally. Kendrick's work transcends music, and his impact will be felt for years to come. This will be the 6th Super Bowl halftime show produced by Jay-Z, Jay-Z's entertainment company, and the NFL after the two sides agreed to work together in August of 2019. I didn't know that. for a long-term partnership that allows Rock Nation to select artists for league events. Rock Nation has enlisted Shakira, Jennifer Lopez, The Weeknd, Rihanna, Usher, and others to perform at shows. This will be Lamar's second performance at a Super Bowl halftime show. He appeared during the 2022 set, headlined by Dr. J, Mary J. Blige, Snoop Dogg, and Eminem, with additional special guests. That performance won 3 Emmy Awards, including Outstanding Variety Special Live, which was a first for the halftime show. I didn't know that. Should I
So
keep reading? There's a lot.
since Jay-Z took over, there's been a lot of controversy. Man, I hate to say racially motivated, but it is unfortunately racially motivated, because Jay-Z has brought in a lot of hip hop artists, rap, R&B, which tends to be more of a black audience and things like that. And because of that, a lot of white folks are losing their mind because, you know, the people that
Yeah.
represent them in their minds are not allowed getting the spots during the halftime show. For example, last year, I think it was Chris Stapleton that did the anthem and did a fantastic job. And
Yep.
everybody was like, "Oh, they should have had Chris Stapleton as the halftime show," and I would have watched that. And nobody watched it. Nobody I know watched the halftime. It's just every year I hear this. So, as for that, I figured we would talk a little bit about that controversy because that's what we do when we don't have a special guest, right? We have to talk about something that's stirring up the hornet's nest. And this is the one this week that is stirring up the hornet's nest a little bit. And our main event topic, I'm going to kind of shine a light on that one too, because there's a different side of that too. However, I got really bad news for the people who say that nobody's watching that,
Oh
or
yeah.
nobody I know is watching that.
Well,
So,
then you don't know anybody.
so Jay-Z has been in charge of the halftime show since 2019.
Yep.
And those 5 shows, this will be his 6th year. The 5 shows that Jay-Z has produced are the 5 highest rated halftime events in the history of the Super Bowl. That means, just so we're clear, that means more people have watched the halftime show since Jay-Z took over than any other show prior to him taking over. And that's not me saying I love Jay-Z, because I honestly don't care one way or the other. This is a fact. Okay? And you can say, well, Prince was the best ever, and I'm right there with you. Prince was one of the best halftime shows ever. I agree. But not one of the most watched. And that's where the NFL is thinking here.
Yeah.
It's just 100% where they're thinking. And as far as I know, the NFL is not allowed to pay the halftime act either. I think they're not allowed to pay them. I could be wrong in that, but I'm pretty sure they're not allowed to pay them. It might even be the other way around, where the artist has to pay them. I'm not sure, though. I don't know how that dynamic works. But I know that the last 5 years have been the most highly rated, more ratings than prior to that.
Yeah.
It's only the 60-plus community that still listen to the Beatles that don't like these halftime shows. Fubar, I wish that were true, man. I truly do wish it was the older folks that are always like, "Oh, no, I'm not watching that trash." It's not just them, though. Sadly, it's not.
Because now it's their offspring.
Yep,
And their
unfortunately, yep.
offspring's offspring.
And so a lot of people think it's racially motivated, but the fact of the matter is, I mean, football is like the melting pot. It's perfect for America because, I mean, everybody loves football. I know very few people who don't, of any race. It's like one of the things that we can all agree on is that football is awesome.
Football.
And another thing that I love about football is football at one point or another in my lifetime has pissed off every single person on the planet, whether it's black, white, Asian, Hispanic, gay, women. Like, they have pissed off everybody at one point or another. It's true. It is true. The whole only halftime show I didn't care for was The Weeknd. You know, I don't even really watch them. I'm going to keep it real, and it's not because I don't want to. It's just I'm not interested. Usually, I'm watching the game.
Jackson talks shit about Coldplay doing it.
Oh yeah, Coldplay. Uh-oh.
They did the Super Bowl, and he talks shit about it like 24/7. Every time they come on my music, which is pretty often, he's like, "Man, they should have never played the Super Bowl. That shit sucked." I'm like, "Can you shut? You say this every time. Every time. I'm about sick of it."
Well, I'm not going to say every, but a lot of people thought it was 100% going to be Taylor Swift, right? Like, everybody was like, oh, it's going to be Taylor Swift because she's already so kind of connected to the NFL now because of Travis Kelce. But it doesn't make... Why would you make... Like, why? Why would you have Taylor Swift do the halftime show? She's already attached to the NFL. Why would you do that? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I would take Nickelback over Coldplay. Wow, Fubar, putting that out there. Katie's face. Oh, man, it is time for the weird but true news. And I think the one that I picked out this week...
I like mine, too.
Yeah, so I will let you go second. I will go first.
Yeah.
Mine is coming from MSN.com, and normally I don't do stories like this, but I thought this was cool. After more than a century, a rare animal that was thought to have been extinct in California has returned after 100 years. And no, it's not Colin Kaepernick. No, it is not. It is. No, it's not the dodo. It is, we'll talk about this. It is protected under the California State Endangered Species. Let me go back. This is a slideshow on its own. After more than a century, the gray wolf has made a notable return to California. According to Axel Honeycutt, the state's gray wolf coordinator. Imagine having a job where you have to coordinate extinct animals. Like, what? There's no job, bro. Anyway, the population has grown significantly, with at least 44 wolves now confirmed across the region. This year has been particularly fruitful, with a record-breaking 30 new pups reported.
Damn.
It's an extraordinary time for gray wolves in California, showing the largest growth spurt in a century. 7 distinct packs are now calling parts of 9 different counties their home. That's a notable spread for a species that was once a whisper from the past, according to the Marin Independent Journal. However, this wildlife comeback isn't winning everyone's hearts. Of course not. There has to be somebody pissed off, right? Every single feel-good story, there has to be one Karen over there in the corner.
What about my cattle and my sheep and
my man. The local farmers and ranchers are particularly on edge. Jana Gliato of Table Rock Ranch didn't mince words when declaring, quote, "Our hands are tied. We've been invaded," unquote. It's clear the tension between preserving wildlife and protecting livestock is mounting. Let me try to explain a little bit of something to Jana Gliato of Table Rock Ranch. Yo, sheep don't mean shit.
There's a million sheep.
We're talking about 44 gray wolves in all of existence. You should feel honored to feed your sheep to that sumbitch.
Yep. That's a sacrifice.
What do you mean your hands are tied? Enjoy the fact that you are helping an animal exist. Anyway, protected under the California State Endangered Species Act, gray wolves have a strong legal shield, which is only breachable if a human is threatened directly. This legislation makes it tough for ranchers to protect their herds and has left many feeling rather helpless against the predatory wolves. The stress is tangible for those like Rick Roberti in Plumas County, who spoke about the frequent and stressful wolf encounters that leave his cattle panicked and his fence is destroyed. It's adding a lot of stress. Wolves chase the cattle. They stress them out. It gets frantic. They will run them for miles. That was my Rick Roberti impression. For those of you out there who may know who Rick Roberti is, how close was I? Probably not very. Anyway. Roberti is sounding the alarm about the potential for these predators to spread further and the lack of preparation. The wolf is going to spread throughout California. There's nothing to stop it. They're going to move, and I think it's going to be a crisis. We're not set up for it, he told the Journal. I'm telling you guys, this Rick Roberti is spot on. You guys don't even know. You don't even know. With wolf numbers climbing, ranchers are considering legal avenues to revisit current wildlife protections. Steve Arnold, leading the California Cattlemen's Association, has been straightforward about his plans, saying, "We're going to go after this for all we can." And so Steve Arnold is a leading contender for my best Batman, by the way. It's fine, it's fine. Amidst the escalating tensions, California has tried to mediate by funding preventive measures. Last year, ranchers got $3 million to spend on non-lethal interventions like fences and guard dogs. And this year, they've added another $600,000 to the pot after. Look, so they're bringing these animals back from the brink of extinction, and they're giving the ranchers and farmers almost $4 million for non-lethal preventative measures. And these people are still bitching. No, dude. Oh, my cattle get run for days. Here's an idea. Put your cattle up for a little while. The wolf will go away, perhaps. But look, the wolf is more important than your damn cattle, bro. Like, oh, man.
Oh, my God.
Gotta love it. I mean, hey, such a good thing. The Grey Wolves have made a comeback, and Karen, Rick Roberti, and Steve Arnold are really mad about it. What's your weird but true news story this week, Kadie?
Well, I actually like this one. I wouldn't necessarily say it's funny or anything, but it's pretty interesting to me. Overwhelming belief in aliens is dangerous to society, newspaper warns.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay. An academic in England says Earthlings are having too close of an encounter with UFO conspiracies, and that is no longer a quirk, but a widespread societal problem.
They talk about this a lot on Lumos. This is one of the things that's going to get Morty elected.
Yeah. Yep. Did you see Stupid Ass?
I saw.
It popped up for a second. Anyway, this belief is slightly paradoxical.
You did it! Hell yeah! Good job. That's right. Yep.
Paradoxical. Anyway, as we have zero evidence that aliens even exist, Tony Milligan, a research fellow in the philosophy of ethics at King's College in London, recently wrote for The Conversation. Well, you can shut the fuck up because aliens do exist. Anyway.
They do.
Oh, yeah. What's more, given the vast distances between star systems, it seems odd we'd only learn about them from a visit. Evidence for aliens is more likely to come from signals from faraway planets than naysayers said. Milligan now published in the Proceedings of the International Astronomical Union, that's a lot of words, cited recent dangerous statistics that nearly a quarter of Americans believe they have seen a UFO. He added the recent federal initiatives to publicize classified knowledge that have only fanned the flames ignited by Jimmy Carter, who promised more answers for Americans while campaigning in the 1970s. Now hearings on the unidentified. What? I always get so damn ahead of myself. I'm looking at the next word while I'm reading one and make it true. Damn. I think that's what is that? ADD, ADHD, one of the damn two. I got something wrong with my brain. Anyway, now hearings on unidentified aerial phenomena and Pentagon whistleblowers are turning more and more people into conspiracy theorists, says Milligan. He referenced a UAP Commission 2019 Gallup poll, which showed 68% of people believe that the U.S. government knows more about UFOs than it's telling. Yeah. Um, Furthermore, the past few years have only been ultimately encouraging conspiracy theories, which could undermine trust in democratic institutions. Milligan claims too much background noise about UFOs and UAPs can also get in the way of legitimate science communication about the possibility of finding microbial extraterrestrial life. He said of the search for evidence in molecular structures across the universe and in our own solar system. It's a lot of fucking words. I'm almost done. That's kind of astrobiology has a far that kind of astrobiology god has a far less effective publicity machine than ufology. Okay, according to the research. Milligan also noted that conspiracies about aliens visiting ancient Earth are causing anthropological issues by overshrouding the mythology of early indigenous humans. It is increasingly clear that belief in alien visitation is no longer just a fun speculation, but something that has real and damaging consequences. The only reason I can kind of get behind this a little bit
Yeah,
is
it
that
is, Cooley. Sorry.
the biggest thing is like people are gonna get behind this shit, and everyone's so like when this shit happens, there's gonna be a hugely different reaction than it should be.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's what I feel like. Everyone's gonna be like, "Oh my, look at the phone," kind of shit, taking selfies with it,
Oh
and then
man.
everyone's like, "Look at my TikTok dance."
Absolutely. It's all about the TikToks, man. That's why I don't understand how you're not there yet, Katie. Come on. Jump on board with the rest of us.
I'm gonna spit my gum out at you.
That is the weird but true news this week for episode 19. And we are, I'll have you know, Kumi is great at the dances. Absolutely. Kumi doesn't do TikToks, I don't think. He does do shorts, though. So, our main event topic this week, there's a lot to unpack with this one. Because, like, there's a lot, honestly.
Yeah.
But this is just been announced. We were talking about Linkin Park announces not only that they have a new singer, but also that they are making a new album with this new singer. And her name is Emily Armstrong. And she has a history. And it's not all good news when it comes to her history. And so, there's a lot to unpack here because, number one, if you're a fan of Linkin Park, I don't feel like anybody is going to accept anybody except Chester Bennington. Like, I mean, hello? That's
Okay.
kind of the sound, right?
My little 2 quick cents. I saw a comment somebody made on social media that was like, everyone always gets mad when bands lose a vocalist and then they replace them with somebody else. People, and that's yes, absolutely. But Chester is kind of a different circumstance, you know. He kind of died in a different. He kind of died for one. Two, the way he died. Three, he was Linkin Park basically.
Mm-hmm.
So that I we're going to talk about it in depth, but just to go ahead and get out there, I feel like they should have started a different project.
I agree. And there's a lot of that in the story here, too. Anyway,
Sorry, I got ahead of myself.
No, you're good. You're good. Linkin Park has a new
I have a lot
singer
of emotions.
and a new album on the way. This is from LATimes.com. Linkin Park is back. The influential rap rock band announced Thursday that it's reunited 7 years after the 2017 death of frontman Chester Bennington and plans to tour and release a studio album this fall. Again, lots to unpack. Let's see if we can do this. The group's new singer is going to be Emily Armstrong, who was previously known as a member of the Los Angeles-based rock band Dead Sarah, who I'm not familiar with. Linkin Park also has announced a new drummer in Colin Britton, who replaces the band's former drummer by the name of Rob Borden. The group's remaining members are rapper and producer Mike Shinoda, guitarist Brad Delson, DJ Joe Hahn, and of course their one-named bassist Phoenix, all of whom founded the band in Agora Hills in 1996, along with the aforementioned Chester Bennington. Linkin Park will release a new 11-track album called From Zero on November 15th, which is its first release since 2017's One More Light, which, by the way, came out just 2 months before Bennington died by suicide at his home in Palos Verdes Estates. The LP's lead single, The Emptiness Machine, dropped on Thursday. So that is already out. So this band has announced a new singer, a new drummer, a new record, and has released a single, all within a very short time. In the statement, the four surviving founders, who called their band Zero before Bennington joined, and they renamed it Linkin Park. So apparently Bennington was not. I mean, this. Oh man, yeah, I see your reaction. Why is this not Zero then?
That's my entire problem. Cause okay, I don't like it. I think hey Toby, I think it needs to be a completely different project. Okay, because everyone's gonna be pissed about you replacing Chester, me included. But two, you're just trying to. When you're trying to relive these songs and keep performing them, it has this kind of feeling that, like, for example, Cool Me will probably know what I'm talking about. They did a show for Mitch Luker. I don't remember where it was, but he was one of my favorite all-time death metal vocalists, or deathcore vocalists. And he died from a motorcycle accident. And they had a huge show where, like, Lamb of God came and did his songs. Like, a shit ton of metal bands came and did Suicide Silence songs.
Just so we're clear, Toby is standing right here, and he's watching the stream to see if the fridge is in the shot so he can get a drink out of the fridge. This kid is ridiculous. Just go get you a drink, bro. Just go
I already saw you.
Yeah, she already saw you, so it's fine. Just go get you a freaking drink, you moron. He's literally, like, looking at his phone and looking up, like...
But what I was getting at was, it feels like it's just like a memorial show. Like, we're getting together, we're celebrating a life. God. You know what I mean? Like, to do Linkin Park songs and have her doing it for, like, a tour or anything like that, it feels wrong. It feels like something you do at his memorial or funeral.
Again,
kind of
along the same lines of what you're talking about, right? The only reason why, in my opinion, again, jump on me if you need to, but the only reason why any of us have ever heard the words Linkin Park when it comes to music is because of Chester Bennington, period. We'd never heard of Zero. Have you ever heard of Zero? I've never heard of Zero. So Zero was the name of the band with the four surviving founders who are still alive, still with the band, before Bennington joined, and then they renamed it Linkin Park. So the fact of the matter is, if they didn't come out with this announcement as Linkin Park, we would not be hearing this. We wouldn't be talking about it. This would literally just be the reformation of Zero with a new singer.
Exactly.
And that's just the way it is. But no, this feels like four guys that are trying to capitalize on their success.
Exactly.
Which is completely okay with them. Or that's completely fine. But at the same time,
given the circumstances, it seems pretty fucking bullshit.
Yeah, because, I mean, this is a guy that not only passed away, but he
even if they
himself.
don't make even if they don't make any music, if they just drop this shit and they're done, they don't, and you never hear from them again.
And then the name of the first record is From Zero.
Yeah.
Which is a clear reference to the band prior to Linkin Park.
It says that Shinoda refers to both this humble beginning and the journey that we're currently undertaking. Sonically and emotionally, it is about past, present, and future, embracing our signature sound, but new and full of life. It was made with a deep appreciation for our new and longtime bandmates, our friends, our families, and our fans.
And I could almost get behind that, except for the future part of it, right? Because if you're talking about the past, you're talking about Zero. When you're talking about the present, you don't have Linkin Park because Chester Bennington is not here. So the past is also Linkin Park. The future cannot be Linkin Park. I don't care what you try to do. It can't be because Chester Bennington is not part of it.
That's what I'm saying. And like, it's just, if it was a different band, a different because this kind of circumstance happens all the time that a band replaces a vocalist.
Right.
Nothing new. And people always get pissed about it in some form or fashion. Some people get happy depending on what it is, whatever. But a lot of people usually get pissed off about it. That's inevitable. But this being the circumstance, I don't understand how people are like, yeah, totally, yeah. You know? Like,
let's look at it like this, because this is a very easy way. Go ahead.
I can't listen to anything of this. Great example. Okay, I love Alter Bridge and hate Creed. Okay? They're the same band with different vocalists. Mm-hmm. Okay? You can make another fucking band, have the same fucking sound, different vocalist, new band, and everyone treats it differently. And it's going to be a thing because it's Linkin Park still, or Zero, whatever the fuck it is without Chester. It's still the band. It's still going to get notoriety. It's just, you fucked it up by staying with Linkin Park, man. Like...
Yeah. Nobody's going to...
certain era of almost culture.
Yeah.
Like, that's all era.
All you have done is you have set up not only your entire band, but especially your vocalist for failure. 100%. Yeah. Because there is no other Chester Bennington. There isn't. You cannot replace a guy like that. You just can't. It's like trying to replace Chris Cornell. You're not going to frickin' do it. It's not going to happen. So don't even try. But now going forward, instead of giving this new vocalist a chance to be successful with you as a band, you have absolutely castrated her before she's even started.
And it sucks, exactly, because now she's stuck. Now they're making new music. But besides that, you're stuck singing all these songs. I don't know how someone could do that. I don't know how anyone in this circumstance is like, yeah, this is cool. Like, who thought any of this was a good idea?
And the record's done, and the single is out, and all of this is happening now. Like, nobody knew about this, right? Until now.
And here's another thing. I watched, maybe it was them doing, I don't remember what song it was, but her doing it live, a performance of them. And it's so obvious she's trying to sound like Chester, too. Mm-hmm. So, like, that just, like, what? Like, why? Like, this doesn't feel new.
No, it's not new. It's not
exactly.
New. That's the thing. And it can't be new. Because
it's a rebrand.
They've literally taken the new, the possibility for new is gone just by keeping the same name. And that's why I have a real problem with the way that he's talking about past, present, and the future. Because your past cannot be your future here with a different vocalist unless you have a fresh start with a new name and a new brand and all of that. And by God, put formerly known as Linkin Park in parentheses if you need to. Yeah. But at the end of the day, you are not Linkin Park without Chester Bennington. I don't care if you founded it or not. I mean, you founded it with Chester. And that's when Zero changed to Linkin Park. And when Chester leaves for whatever reason, then you go back to Zero.
That's like if Korn tried to replace freaking Jonathan Davis. That's if freaking Evanescence tried to replace Amy Lee.
Yep.
It's the same shit. Everyone be up in flames about that.
Matchbox 20 with Rob Thomas would be a good example. Like, no, you can't do that, right?
I wouldn't be losing my shit on that one, but you probably wouldn't be losing your shit on Corn, would you?
I'm not losing my shit on any of it. Like, none of this really matters to me because I'm not heavily invested in these bands. But I can also speak from a place of, you know,
A music enthusiast.
yeah, like just a place of neutrality, I guess. Like, and look at it without bias of loving or hating the band. I don't know anything about Emily Armstrong, but I can tell you that she's going to fail. Like, there's no way for her to. There's no way she can win here.
Because all everyone sees is the chick that's trying to replace Chester.
That's right. That's right. Instead of just, her, this is a new band and Emily is our vocalist, please give her a chance, blah, 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 blah. But no, they've already recorded the music. They've already done all of this. And yet, Emily Armstrong also has a past beyond just her music. And perhaps Katie doesn't even know this.
I don't.
But I have unpacked some things about Emily Armstrong that are a little bit concerning. Actually, they're a lot bit concerning, actually. But some of you folks out there may remember a guy by the name of Danny Masterson.
Yeah.
Danny Masterson, if you're not familiar, was on That 70s Show, real close friends with Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah.
Played on The Ranch.
Is now in jail for life.
He's now in prison for life because he's a convicted rapist. And Emily Armstrong supported him during his trial. And so I'm going to read about this a little bit. This is the same Emily Armstrong. I had to look that up because it could have been, a very common name, which it probably is. But this is from Forbes again. New Linkin Park singer Emily Armstrong breaks her silence on Danny Masterson's support allegations. Following a wave of criticism and concern from Linkin Park fans, Linkin Park's new lead vocalist Emily Armstrong has responded to the alleged claims associating her to actor and convicted rapist Danny Masterson. "Hi, I'm Emily," Armstrong posted on her Instagram story. "I'm new to so many of you, and I wanted to clear the air about something that happened a while back. Several years ago, I was asked to support someone I considered a friend at a court appearance and went to one early hearing as an observer. Soon after, I realized I shouldn't have. I always try to see the good in people, and I misjudged him. I have never spoken with him since. Unimaginable details emerged, and he was later found guilty. To say it as clearly as possible, I do not condone abuse or violence against women, and I empathize with the victims of these crimes." That's her statement. It's important to note that at this time, Armstrong has not yet responded to comments and allegations also linking her to the Church of Scientology, which is a different can of worms, right?
Well, there's been a lot of weird shit come out about, like, Mike Shinoda, too.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, much of the backlash he's faced has to do not only with her, there's a typo here. Forbes do better. Much of the backlash she's faced has to do not only with her association with Masterson, but also with her alleged links to the Church of Scientology. Armstrong's association with Scientology was brought up by the Mars Volta vocalist, Cedric Bixler-Zavala, whose past comments resurfaced yesterday regarding Armstrong's alleged support for Masterson and her association with the church. Quote, "I'm surprised none of you wrote a letter on Danny Masterson's behalf since your corny-ass singer showed up to support him in the prelims. Remember Emily? Remember how your fellow Scientologist goon squad surrounded one of the Jane Does when she was trying to leave the elevators?" Zavala wrote. "The court sheriffs had to escort her away from your awful cult," unquote.
It wasn't Masterson, right? That's his last name.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't he involved with the church?
Yes, he was. Yep,
That's
he
what I
sure
thought.
was.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is a straight allegation from Mars Volta um, vocalist about
Mm.
how her and her cult, that's his word, awful cult, surrounded one of the Jane Does that was involved in one of Danny Masterson's victims was essentially surrounded by Emily Armstrong and her posse. Anyway, this is also a direct quote. Remember when we did the purification rundown, Emily? Were you directed to safe point me because of what my wife knew? Why can't you shut your mouth during a detox program where people are going through some rough shit, but your corny ass is singing like an unsupervised child? Unquote. Yeah. So there's more.
Damn.
Quote, is it cause you're a born again Scientologist that gets a pass? How do you reconcile the homophobia found in the teachings of L. Ron Hubbard's book Dianetics? Do your fans know about your friend Danny Masterson, your rapist friend? Unquote. It's worth noting that many fans of Linkin Park have been quick to point out that the Church of Scientology has arguably questionable beliefs around mental health issues and mental illness, topics that are prominent throughout Linkin Park's songs, and a close issue to the fans and the band, obviously. I added the obviously. Provided that Chester Bennington took his own life due to his own personal mental health struggles. This is all very interesting. This is probably not the kind of press they wanted for Linkin Park. On the heels
Well, they
of,
should have fucking known better. I'm sorry.
I just don't see how this girl can possibly get a fair shot as the lead singer of an iconic brand. I'm
And
not
not
band, but brand.
planned. You're
Yeah.
exactly right. Like Linkin Park, Corn, Limp Biscuit, that was all a culture.
Yep.
It was. It really was. Um, we don't really have music like that nowadays, I don't think. Besides like freaking Taylor Swift and shit like that. You know, it's not there's not really like a culture of music like that, like necessarily like that.
Mm-hmm. I
But
also saw
I
something else. I don't know which one of the bandmates it is, but one of the four founders. I want to say it's the bassist, Phoenix. I could be
mhm.
wrong. But I don't believe he's going on tour with them. I believe they're using a temporary bassist and that he's only going to perform in the studio for them, which makes zero sense when the record's already done.
Yeah.
But
So
there's just a whole lot of different news stories all surrounding this one thing.
and here's the thing. They fucked it.
Oh,
Even if
big
they
time.
well not just for this. Like, what are you gonna do now?
Yeah.
Like they can try and come out and start another band maybe with a different vocalist, but then they're gonna get shit for that.
Yep.
You
No,
can't do shit.
they are 100% stuck with each other now. This is what they chose. This is who they chose. And they chose each other. And they chose Linkin Park. Um, man. Just a shit show, man. Big shit show right here. There's a
In
lot
the
wrong with
video,
this.
here comes the teacher in me. So the video that I watched, I think it was God, I don't know. I've had a lot of Linkin Park songs stuck in my head since all this shit. It was either What I've Done or Somewhere I Belong, I think. But anyway, they were doing it live with her, and like the whatever it is, the melody, he always sang really high, but it would be about a mid for a female where that song would be, and her doing those fry screams at that level. You're supposed to fry screams, especially for Chester, that comes at a really, really high range. Like a really, really like you're really high up in your range, right? Higher notes. That's where that
Mm-hmm.
shit comes into play. Now you can do it for some lower notes, but it sounds fucking weird. So go listen to her if you want to hear that. It's just like because it has that gravelly sound, but it sounds so much lower for a female to be singing it. It doesn't sound right to me. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, what the fuck? Because it's so obvious she's trying to sound like Chester. Like, it's not like she's even trying to be herself at all, it seemed
Yeah,
like. I didn't
it's
listen to
sad.
the new song because I saw that video and I was like pissed off and I was like, nope, I don't want nothing to do with it.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm curious how Chester's fam feels about it, and
Yeah, I wondered about that
and them
too.
using the same name, and even more than that, will they reap any benefit from the name still being used? So there's
And
those questions.
now, oh my God, now it's going to be the same damn thing as Avenged Sevenfold or Suicide Silence. I liked them before the Rev died, or I liked them before Mitch died. So now it's going to be a thing where you got to explain your T-shirt, or like, oh yeah, Suicide Silence is my favorite band, but not with this vocalist, with the other one. Now
Right.
it's going to be this shit with this band. That's some
Yep.
bullshit,
So Fubar wants you to do one of those for an example, Katie.
boy. You gonna pay me for that? No, I'm kidding.
Oh man.
Y'all need to pay me for my teachings.
For yes, somebody donate right now for her teachings. By God.
My teachings, a penny. Oh, that's all
Yeah.
I need.
Yeah. A
A
penny.
penny for my thoughts.
That's right. Anyway, yeah, I think this is going to go down in flames. I think it's not going to work well. I think they're trying to monetize the past, which is
And
okay,
then
but
also,
it's also not okay.
There's so many people defending it too that I feel like are just so oblivious.
So
Like,
Kumi says, go ahead.
it needs to be acknowledged. Like, it's not just they got a new vocalist. Chester, you know, killed himself. Like, it's not some average circumstance. And people that are defending it are treating it like it is, and it's not.
Yep, I agree. Kumi said I cried when they announced a new singer because it felt disrespectful.
Exactly.
But after watching her perform, I think she's going to do good for the old songs. I'm looking forward to the new stuff. He said. Katie does not agree with you. And
It's
she
just a
finally
thing.
got her thumbs up as well. Yep. Um, a little bit of a honorable mention at the end of the show. I'd be remiss without mentioning this because it saddened me, but it's not on the same level as say Rich Homie Quan or James Earl Jones, who were widely known. But Will Jennings also passed away day before yesterday. Now, most people on the planet are never going to have heard Will Jennings' name ever spoken. But he wrote My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion. He wrote Tears in Heaven for Eric Clapton and a bunch of other songs. Originally from Kilgore, Texas, right down the road. He actually was living in Tyler when he passed a couple days ago. And sadly, I was really hoping to get him on my show. So I'm somebody I wanted to talk to. And I was trying to get a hold of his family since like July, and just he was very, very. I don't want to say he was like a hermit, but he was really hard to get a hold of, like really hard to get a hold of. And so now things kind of make sense a little bit more. So possibly he was probably sick the whole time,
Yeah.
and that's why I was
I would like
struggling.
to think that he was this magical guy in his little, like, tree house out in this magical forest, sitting there writing in his
Mm.
little. That's what I would like to imagine that he
But
was doing,
yeah,
and out
they
there being a hermit.
they did a big thing for him in Tyler recently, where they did like a little. I don't know if it was a Broadway show or it was some kind of retrospective about him and his career. And unfortunately, I didn't make it to that either. But just an incredible songwriter, one of the best to ever live. And so it's sad that he's gone. But I
Yeah.
wanted to make sure I mentioned his name on this show. I'll be mentioning him on the other show as well. Also, I need to let folks know that coming up, Katie's going to have 3 weeks off from this show. In fact, that's coming up pretty quick because
That's what I was just thinking. Wait a minute.
Katie's getting married. But today is
No,
the
no.
9th. Today is the 9th of September as we record this. Her and I are recording on the 16th and the 23rd. And then after that, she has 3 weeks off. So the 30th and the first 2 Mondays in October, she will be doing married things. And so
So the episodes that come out the 11th, 18th, and 25th of October, it looks
that's
like,
right.
right?
And so those
Yeah.
3 weeks, we will be doubling up our interviews for those weeks. And then after that, when Kadie comes back on the 21st,
It's good. It's
we are
gonna be the
gonna
day after Halloween, November
right,
1st.
but I'm pretty sure after that we will be doing every other week again.
Okay.
So it'll be like the 21st, and then the 4th of November, and so on and so forth. Because, like she just said, on November 1st, we will release a Chris and Kadie show. But then on November 8th, we are scheduled to release our very first podcast called Dropping the Boom. And that is going to be with my son-in-law, Dennis, and my son, Toby. We will be discussing professional wrestling-related items, sports, and occasional pop culture things like TV shows and movies and stuff. But it's mostly going to be sports and wrestling-related. And so starting in November, it will be Chris and Kadie every other Friday and Dropping the Boom every other Friday. So we'll still get one show a week, but Kadie and I will essentially record twice a month, and then I'll record twice a month with them as well. And all of those will be live on Twitch, by the way. So we will always be live on Mondays on Twitch for these podcasts. And again, guys, if you want to sponsor an episode, get with me at the Chris and Kadie Show at gmail.com for this show. We will also take sponsorships for Dropping the Boom, if that's the name we stick with. But I know that you have a lot coming up with wedding stuff. The closer we get, the more crazy you're going to be, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
So the wedding is what, October 12th, right?
A month away from Thursday, so 3 days from now.
The rest of your life is about to start.
I know.
I'm really excited for you.
I keep fucking with Jackson and be like, this is your life now.
So are you going to be like every day for like those 6 days or something leading up to it? This is your 6th to your last chance to run.
Nah, his chance is gone once he's at that damn altar when I walk in. Nah, his shit's done for. If you're there at all, you're done.
That's going to be a crazy weekend because I'll be hanging out with y'all on Saturday. Mm-hmm. And that's in Malakoff, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So we'll be doing that. And then on Sunday, I'm meeting Mike Tramp from White Lion.
Yep.
In Texarkana. He's got a show in Texarkana. So that's going to be a crazy long weekend. A lot. Yes, a lot. Yep. I'm not missing that, though. That's like $75 tickets, and we're VIPing.
Yeah.
So you know how you're a band. You know how you get a band list that you can put at the door?
Right.
Louise and I are the only people on his list.
That's dope.
That's pretty badass. I mean, he doesn't know anybody in Texas, right? I mean, he just doesn't know.
Yeah.
But like, that show's gonna be sold out. So
it's gonna be out.
So, but yeah, I hope Sierra Farrell comes back to the factory while you're still working there, or somebody equally cool. Oh, that reminds me. Did you see my text where I was telling you about that certain Chapel Roan song you need to learn? I
saw it, and I opened it when I woke up with all the intention of listening to it, but I forgot. So I...
Go ahead.
I'm stuck on Love Casual, love Good Luck Babe, love
Hot to Go,
Pink Pony Club.
Yes.
I'm not too crazy about Hot to Go. It gets stuck in my head, but it's not
I'm going to keep it real. When she does Picture You...
Supernova.
When she does Picture You, I hear your voice.
Really?
Yes. Okay. So all of those different like inflections that you have in your voice, I hear in that song. So like I always think it's you singing it when it's actually Chapel Roan. So I think you should really listen to it and possibly cover it. That would be dope.
She has popped in my head for the past 3 days. So obviously I've been listening to these songs on repeat because I've discovered something new and I'm excited about it. But not just that, I was buying my wedding shoes yesterday, right? It was playing in Gun Barrel.
Wow. They just don't know.
I know. That's what I was thinking. I was like, they have no.
The beautiful thing is like, people are using this as like background noise, and it's like they don't even know.
I was trying on these shoes, and I looked up and I said, I said, Jackson, you remember that song?
Just as long as it's not like casual. Did Kadie get Jackson to sign the prenup? That's a good question.
You don't be making more money than me right now.
Oh, no
That boy is
prenups.
no, hell no. I'm about to be trophy wife, and then when I get big bucks, then he gonna then we gonna redo it all.
When we get the big bucks, then we'll do it. We'll do a post nup, right? All right. Well, I appreciate everybody watching episode 19 with myself and Miss Kadie Lynn. We're so excited to do this show every week. I love talking with Kadie and catching up. Even if we weren't doing this show, I feel like we would probably do something like this going forward. Prior to doing this show, Kadie and I had kind of lost touch for a long time. We still obviously care a lot about one another, but it's always fun doing this show.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you guys are watching out there, wherever you're watching, hit the like button, the subscribe button, whatever is free for you to hit it.
Hit the buttons.
Hit the buttons.